Hey, so the Voidz just released Megz of Ram, like randomly on a Tuesday. Um, and it's pretty good. I'm like a big fan of the Voidz. I like love them. Um, they're one of my favorite bands of all time. Tyranny, I'm just okay with. Like, I feel like it's like a little too harsh for my liking. But Virtue is what got me hooked on them. Like, Virtue is like a perfect album in my opinion. Um, and it just like I remember I listened to it on acid for the first time, and it just like blew me away. Like I was just like really like every single song I was just like, this is exactly what I needed at that moment. And yeah, I loved it. And I've been listening to them ever since. Virtue and Human Sadness off Tyranny is like one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life too. But Tyranny overall is just like too harsh of a listen for me. Um, I even liked Like All Before You. I think that album is like pretty great. I gave it like a 9 out of 10 or something, personally. Um, I do think the overture and the last track are a little bit like middle of the road. Like, they could have been left off or on. But the rest of the album is like pretty great and fantastic in my opinion. So it starts out with Unholy Lover, which is my favorite track on the EP so far. I have no idea what he's saying, what it means, and that's how I feel about 3 out of 4 of the tracks. Like I know what Blue Demon's saying. Like I've like heard that song for like a few months now, but yeah, the rest of it's like auto-tuned to shit, and like I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but it just sounds so beautiful. Like this song is like entrancing and like so lush and like cool, and yeah, I love this song. So Blue Demon, I know what he's saying because it's been out for so long, but I don't know what he means. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like I know the words, but I don't know what it means. Um, I do know it's politically charged because it says Antifada, which is like a Palestinian uprising against the Israeli oppression that's been going on for years and years. That's still going on to this day. And he says too many babies dead like their mothers, which is like another like terrible atrocity that's going on in Palestine right now. It's just like all the murders and death that's just of these innocent people that aren't even a part of Hamas and whatever. And I'm not educated enough to talk about too much about this. Like I know what you probably know about it. You probably know more than me if you're watching this. I don't know, but yeah, I'd be curious to see Julian talk more, or the band talk more about their stance their stance on what's going on in Palestine and Israel right now. Russian Coney Island is a track like a lot of people were excited about because of the live clips of them playing it throughout the years. Um, but I wasn't that excited. I don't know. I think the live clips didn't really grab me that much. Um, but it's really working for me on this EP. Like I think it's really groovy and cool, and like there's a nice guitar solo in there. Maybe it's a little long, but it's still like I'm chilling listening to it. So I don't know. Worked for me. And also just the name Russia, it reminds me of the Russian invasion of the Ukraine that's still going on to this day. I feel like it's kind of like not been talked about as much lately because it's kind of, I don't know, but that's still going on. So just want to mention that briefly here. I really enjoyed this track. My favorite is still Unholy Lover, but this track was pretty great. Now, if I had to pick a least favorite, it's definitely Drifto. It's not bad or anything. I just don't know what he's saying half the time. Again, like most of the tracks here, I don't really know what he's saying. It's still pretty epic though. I feel like it's a grower, but yeah, right now it's just like the other ones have a lot more like going for them than this one. So yeah, that's my review of Megz of Ram. I'm thinking like a 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8. Really enjoyed it. Gonna be listening to it a lot more. And yeah, my only complaint is like Drifter wasn't my favorite. And Russian Coney Island's maybe a little long. But I loved Unholy Lover and I love Blue Demon. And Russian Coney Island still a vibe. And I feel like I'm gonna like Drifter more the more I listen to this EP. It's only been 1 day, so yeah, it's way too early to really give a real assessment of anything. But that's just how I'm feeling today. So 7.5, 8 out of 10. Have a good day. Bye.